2021 has been nothing short of spectacular for WagerTalk co-founder Marco D'Angelo. Marco is the #1 handicapper at WagerTalk in both money won at a 59% bankroll increase and winning percentage of 62.5%. Marco is on an insane run of 25-5 with his plays over the past weeks for 83% winners. Right now, Marco has a sweetheart of a deal for you. Buy a 30-day all-access package for the regular price of $349, and Marco will give you an additional 30 days of all access for free. To redeem this offer, just go to WagerTalk.com. Choose Marco in the experts dropdown and lock in 60 days of picks for the price of 30. This sweetheart deal ends at midnight on Valentine's Day.
All right, guys, welcome in on this February the 5th. It is Friday, and it is time for another edition of the Pony Pundits. It is powered by our friends, of course, at WagerTalk.com. It has been quite a roller coaster here, a very profitable roller coaster in horse racing with Pony Pundits. It started with the Pegasus last week at the Holy Bull in Gulfstream Park, right down the road from me here in Miami. Guess what? Another profitable day, and we've got one more coming your way tomorrow at the Tampa Bay Downs. We're talking about the Sam F. Davis Stakes, and of course, where are they? The actual pundits. Where the hell are they? Marco D'Angelo is back. And, of course, Sig joining us here today as Marco back from vacation. Sig, I can't believe it. I had to check 3 times. All that damn money he won at the Pegasus. He couldn't wait to go away, and he totally ditched us for the Holy Bull. But Marco D'Angelo back. Sig, of course, is here. And, Sig, can you believe it? It's actually him in the flesh.
It is Marco D'Angelo in the flesh. And this is D'Angelo that didn't kill me.
Well, they tried to, that's for sure. Marco, welcome back, my friend. We missed you last week for the Holy Bull, but I certainly hope the vacation treated you well.
It was, and I made the mistake of turning on Pony Pundits when we got back to the hotel and checked how things went. I wanted to make sure you guys were able to, get the job done without me. And lo and behold, my partner in crime, Sig, was a funny man. And unfortunately, I had the sound up, and Mrs. D'Angelo heard Sig's joke. And the funny part of it is the joke was on her because Sig, you guys thought he was just making a joke. There was no joke there. That's the God honest truth. I got to hit a pick 4 or pick 5 tomorrow to make up for the shopping. And we do have proof. This was the same day that the Pony Pundits was being shot. This was Lori in Park City. A lot of bags there in her hands. And that was just the start.
So it looks like we need, you hear that, Sig? No pressure here, man. Marco, she's going to leave him if we don't get him winners here this week. So it's a big weekend at Tampa Bay Downs here. But he did mention, congratulations, by the way, Holy Bull. You picked the winner there last week here on the show. We talked about it, so congratulations. Thoughts on how that race ended up?
I was actually really impressed with the run Greatest Honor put in, started on the far turn. And Shug McGahee had him definitely ready to fire. It actually flatters one of the entrants we're going to see here today or tomorrow in the Sam F. Davis, who actually battled him in a maiden earlier last fall.
All right, so what we want to do here, guys, 11th race tomorrow, Tampa Bay Downs, the Sam F. Davis Stakes. And Marco, for those that might be joining us here for the first time, real quickly, the importance of these road to and race to the Derby situations here that we've been talking about and covering over the last couple of months.
Well, it's important. Just because you pay your fees to make a horse eligible for the Kentucky Derby, if there's more than 20 entrants in the box to go for the Kentucky Derby, only the top 20 point earners get in. So all of these prep races, you earn points if you finish in the top 4. Now, this particular prep race is a 10-4-2-1 point system. So there's 10 points up to grab for the winner of this race. And you want to be, in that top 20 so you don't have to sweat it come that first Saturday in May if you're going to get into the race or not. So all these races add up. As we get to next month, Joe, the races will start to be worth a little more. Those final prep races, there'll be 50 points up for grabs in the big ones. And one of them is in your home track, and that's at Gulfstream. in March, one that I was hoping to get to. But what are you doing down there? Can you get everybody cleaned up and open it up? It looks like they're not going to have fans for the Florida Derby.
Listen, we're in Florida, man. We've been open for the last year and a half. I don't know what the hell what you're talking about, not where you are. Where I am, we've been out and we're ready to go, but it's still being debated on whether or not that's going to take place. But we're still going to have the winners regardless for you here on Pony Pundits. Now, before we dive into the 12 horses in this race, and we're gonna go back and forth. Sig, I'm going to start with number one entry there, and we're going to go to Marco number two. Just your thoughts a little bit on each of these horses, but I do want to remind folks that Sig has the opportunity each and every race day for you to head over to WagerTalk.com and grab his $9 racing form. It is there. It's available, Sig, usually by what, 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern time each and every race day?
Yeah, the sheet's up by 9 a.m. every day Eastern, and then anybody who purchases a sheet should look for an update probably about a half hour to an hour before first post. I'll update for scratches, changes, weather conditions, etc.
All right, there you go. WT.buzz/SIG, SIG, directly to this page. Get the daily racing form from SIG. $9 up by 9 a.m. Eastern time each and every race day. All right, guys, let's dive into these horses. Let's get your thoughts here. And Sig, I'm going to start with you. Let's take a look at all 12 entries if we can here, guys, up on the screen. So we'll go at number one, and we'll start with Hidden Stash for you. 10-1 morning line on this horse. Talk to us about Hidden Stash there, Sig.
Joe, Hidden Stash is a 3-year-old colt. He's actually making his 3-year-old debut on Saturday in the Sam S. Davis. We haven't seen him since November at Churchill Downs, where he won an allowance race. He should have no problem with the distance. His last 2 races have been at this 8.5 furlong distance. They were both wins for him. He possesses the ability to stalk and close, so I do expect him to be just off the early pace, which will be well contested in my opinion. He closed into slow fractions last at Churchill, so no matter if they go fast or slow on the front end, he shouldn't have a problem with it. I don't believe this horse wins on Saturday, but I think he has a shot. Use him underneath.
All right, and Marco, I love this number 2 horse here, and you know why. Talk to me about Joe Man Joe. Talk to me.
Well, Joe, I think you might have a better chance of winning this race than Joe Man Joe does. I'm going to try to be a little bit as nice as I can. This horse, this is being ambitiously placed in this race, in my opinion. Now, I will say one thing. The horse has had his 2 best races, his last 2. And we talk about young horses making those big jumps. One of the things that has helped this horse is he's gone to another trainer. The last 2 races, David Fisher has had this horse instead of Ian Wilkes. Not that Ian Wilkes is not a good trainer, but it's a much bigger operation. And sometimes horses get lost in the shuffle of bigger barns. And when they go to a smaller barn, they find their way. They get a little more attention and a little more time to develop. He has raced well the last 2, but this is a big jump. He has raced his last 2 also over this track, which gives him an advantage, but I just don't think he has the speed figures, Joe. I think he should just call you up and go out and have a couple beers and have a good time. I don't think it's going to be good for Joe Man Joe on Saturday.
Listen, you should see how fast I can get downhill. All right, with a running start. You'd be shocked right there, Marco. Number 3, let's talk about it. Known Agenda, Sig 3, actually 6-1 morning line favorite in this one. Give us an idea of what about this number 3 horse, Known Agenda.
Well, this is one of 2 Todd Pletcher entries in here. This is actually the horse that was flattered by Greatest Honor's Holy Bull last week. They battled back on November 8th at Aqueduct in a maiden special weight. And Known Agenda basically took the lead and held off Greatest Honor. They battled the entire way down the stretch. If you get a chance, guys, go back and watch that race. It was definitely a true battle between 2 young horses, and Known Agenda held them off. So I think Known Agenda was flattered by that race. He came back and finished 3rd in the Remsen. That was over a sloppy track, though, also at Aqueduct. And I think the slop definitely paid its toll on him. As a curling colt, you don't think that the slop's going to bother them, but this horse did. It was the first time he experienced an off track. John Velasquez has taken the mount, and he's ridden him in 2 of his 3 career starts, so he's familiar with this colt. And Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez have teamed up to win the most Sam F. Davises at Tampa. I believe Velasquez has 4 wins and Pletcher has 6 wins. So this horse is a big player in here. I don't believe you're going to get 6-1 here, but I think he will run big on Saturday.
All right, let's go to number 4. Speaking of Pletcher there, Marco, another Todd Pletcher horse here, million off 12-1, I think it was. Yeah, 12-1 morning line. This is a big step up, though, is it not, for this horse?
Yeah, he's got a lot of things going against him. The one thing that's going to get him bet at the window more than he should be is what you said. He is the other Todd Pletcher horse. Todd Pletcher is always going to draw attention at the betting windows, and this horse is going to get over bet. Here's the problem with this horse. One, he doesn't have the speed figures as the other horses in this race. He just broke his maiden in his last start at Gulfstream, and it was a maiden claimer. So this is being ambitiously placed again, like we talked about the 2 horse. But here's the other concern. His best race came in his last race. They added Lasix for the first time last time out. Now, that was because that was his first start of 2021. 3-year-olds can use Lasix, except if they're in a stake race. So his best race came last time out with the addition of Lasix. Now he's got to step up in company. He's got to withdraw the Lasix, be racing with no medication to help his breathing or bleeding. I'm a little bit concerned that this one is not going to be around at the finish line. But again, because of the Todd Pletcher factor, he's going to get bet more than he should, and that's okay for me if I'm not using him, because I want them to bet a horse that I'm not using. Gives me better odds on the ones I am. So I'm a pass on number 4.
Amen to that. Pletcher's going to get a lot of money there for sure. Let's go to the number 5 horse in this race tomorrow, the Sam F. Davis Stakes, and we're looking at a Dale Romans horse here, Sig, who did pretty well in that Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes here. Do you think they can repeat that performance, though?
I'm actually really intrigued by this one, Joe. You haven't seen him since that Kentucky Jockey Club back in November. He's had 2 full months to develop. Romans has an ability to take horses and have them make jumps by leaps and bounds in their development from 2 years to 3 years. So he's going to be really interesting to me. He is your morning line favorite per the morning line, but like I said, I think that Pletcher is going to end up taking the money and be your post time favorite. He finished second in that Kentucky Jockey Club to Keep Me in Mind, who's number 2 on the Kentucky Derby points list currently, last out. Romans also enlisted jockey Daniel Centano, who is a local jockey to Tampa, and he's one of the top jocks there. But it's the first time Centano's riding for Romans this year, so it's actually a very interesting pick for a jockey here. Julian Leparoux rode him last out, but he is on another entrant in here. While not my top choice, I think this is definitely a win contender on Saturday.
You mentioned Leparoux. He is on the next horse here, the 6th horse in this race, Runway Magic. Rusty Arnold trained, and Marco, this is a little bit longer than what good old Runway Magic is used to here. How do you have him?
Yeah, that's the big question. It's a first time at the distance. This horse is raced exclusively in sprints. 1 6-furlong race last time out, and then the other races, the other 3 were 7-furlong races. Stretching out for the first time is always a question, but it's a question that you have to find the answer to if you want to continue on the Derby trail, because as we know, the Triple Crown races are all at classic distances, and this horse has to prove his way. You can look for the positive and say Leparoux has stayed with this horse, but if you look, he's ridden this horse in all 4 of his starts, where the other horse that he's jumping from, he only raced that one time. And although it was a good second, this might be a case where he just feels more loyal to Runway Magic in sticking with the mount. Just a little handicapping note, that's always something that's good to look at, Joe, when jockeys have usually rode multiple horses in the same race to see which one they land on, because as we know, they make their money based on which horse makes the most money in the race by where they finish. So they're generally making their decisions based on what's best for their wallet. but sometimes they make a decision based on loyalty to a particular trainer that might have more horses in his barn, which means more mounts down the road. The other thing I don't like about this horse, and I don't want to be derogatory to the horse. The horse was a great racehorse, and I haven't seen a horse marketed better as a sire than Run Happy has been. But thus far, his first crop are only 3-year-olds this year. What we saw out of the 2-year-old crop didn't impress me yet. Might happen this year down the road, but until I see it, I'm not a big fan of the Run Happy. So again, this is another one for me. Not going to be on my ticket, but he's racing his best right now. Speed figures a little bit questionable if he can get the distance and hold the speed. I'm looking out elsewhere in this race.
All right, let's go. Number 7, Boca Boy here. Sig Antonio Gallardo's got the mount. Early speed. Is it enough? What do you think?
I don't know what to do with this one, Joe. He does have the early speed, as you just said, but he's been off since September when he won a restricted stakes race at Gulfstream here. He hasn't missed a board in all 4 career starts, but he hasn't exhibited the speed necessary to be a factor against a quality field like he'll be seeing here on Saturday. The recent works haven't shown me anything special, but he has had the 4+ months now to develop. The one thing to keep an eye on is we are possibly expecting showers tomorrow in Tampa Bay and at Gulfstream. And this guy has run 3 of his 4 career races on off tracks, winning 2 of them. So if it is sloppy or it is raining, he may be a horse to look at. Currently, though, I am not using him on my tickets.
All right, here, guys, just want to remind you as well, before we get to number 8, Marco's available for, and nobody's been hotter at WagerTalk, guys, than Marco D'Angelo right now, I don't think he's lost in 3 years, honestly. Something along those lines. That's why he took off last week. He's making more money than he knows what to do with. And the bottom line is right now, you guys can hop on. What a great sweetheart special that you can find at Marco's page at WagerTalk. You buy 30, you get 30. How is that? 60 days all access, guys. Get every play of Marco's, including any of these upcoming races that he has in the next 60 days, all yours by heading over to WagerTalk.com. Take advantage of it right now. Buy 30, get 30. Hell of a sweetheart deal at WagerTalk with Marco. All right, Marco, I'm coming to you here, Mr. Nova Rags, Bill Mott, and anybody that has followed any racing at Tampa. You know the name, Sammy Camacho. That's who's riding this horse. How much confidence do you have in this duo and this horse?
Well, I think this horse has a lot of upside. It's the first one that I'm getting to review that I think could have a shot. A little bit of question on the distance. He's only raced 1 time at a route distance of 1 mile. He finished 4th in that one, but it was a distant 4th. He got beat 14 lengths. Now in his last start, which was the first start in January, and just like when we talked about the 4-horse in this race, he was able to use Lasix in that race, and he responded well. He drew off by 2 3/4 lengths, an easy win at 7 furlongs. But now, because of the stake race, they're not allowed to use Lasix in the stake races this year, and this horse has to prove to me that he can get the distance without the Lasix. That's my only concern. He's out of the sire, Union Rags, who shouldn't be a problem for this distance. Union Rags, very good sire, standing for $50,000 stud fee. This horse has the license to improve and be part of the ticket. He didn't make my top 4, but when I play, the bottom ends of the exotics, trifectas and superfectas, I won't throw him out on the bottom. But I don't think he can win this race, but he can hit the ticket underneath.
All right, number 9, Candyman Rocket, another Bill Mott horse here, Junior Alvarado on top of this one. Sig, you know this in Gulfstream. This horse run by almost 10 lengths here. And he did it rather quickly. This is a jumping class, though. So what do you think of this horse, the other half of the Bill Mott entries?
Very true, Joe. It is a jumping class. And on his debut, he didn't show us anything. He actually tired out in that debut at Churchill. That was a sloppy track in his defense, and then came back. And to win that maiden special weight at Gulfstream in January. As Marco just said, though, he was on Lasix for that race. Whether that helped with the improvement or just the maturity, I am not sure. He will be back off of Lasix tomorrow, but I like the price on this one. 10-1, it's a candy ride. Shouldn't have a problem with the distance, even though he hasn't run it yet. I've seen a dramatic improvement Bott was able to get from this horse from that first start to that second start at 10-1. This is going to be my top pick on Saturday.
Ooh, all right. Love it. Let's go to number 10 here, Marco. Ricochet, obviously, took him a little while, but he did it here at Tampa. Ended up taking that maiden finally. What do you think of this horse, though? It's a big number.
Yeah, a big number, 15-1. The horse actually intrigues me with it because you've got an opportunity with a horse that's coming off his two best races. And there was a jockey change for the last race. And if you go 2 races back, they brought the horse into Tampa the end of November, and the horse went off the betting favorite in the race and looked like he was clear turning for home, and he got caught right at the wire. Now, a little bit of question, maybe the jockey made his move a little bit too soon, opened up on the field, didn't leave enough for the stretch drive, and just got caught at the wire. Well, after that race, they made a jockey change, and boy, did it ever pay dividends, because he ran his best race of his career, won by 8 open lengths in that one, drawing off under wraps. Now makes the big jump in class. He hasn't faced anybody of this caliber. Now, he's raced against a couple of the horses in this race, but those were horses that I deemed as also rans, so I can't really give him credit for those performances, but he does have the license to improve. We'll see what he does on the debut. He's a big number. Again, this is one I don't think can win the race, but I think at the number he's going to go off, there is value throwing him on the bottom end of some of your exotics, and by that I'm talking the trifectas and the superfectas.
All right, number 11, Lucky Law here, Sig. Interesting. A horse that is yet to race on the dirt, but I'm looking at this trainer's name, and it looks awfully familiar to me. Same guy that won last year on this track in this race. So tell me what you think about another big number, 20-1. Tell me what you think about Lucky Law.
Joe, I am not really sure what to think about with Lucky Law. As you said, we haven't seen him on the dirt yet, but his trainer, Patrick Biancone, did this last year. He started out with a horse named Sole Volante, a couple starts on the turf, and then he did move him to the dirt. He won the he didn't win. He ran third in the Mucho Macho Man last year before coming in and winning the Sam F. Davis at Tampa. Lucky Law may have the same shot. I kind of think that the connections might have a little bit Derby fever, though, with this one. I mean, they paid over $130,000 US for him. He is an Irish bred. I think his late running style transfers from the turf to the dirt. He may have a shot to hit the board here at a price, and at 20-1, I will be using him underneath on my tickets.
All right, and finally, number 12 here in this race, Last Investment. Marco, a maiden, obviously puts him behind the 8 ball here a little bit. So tell me what you think of this horse at 30-1.
Yeah, before I get to Last Investment, I just want to follow something up on what Sig was talking about, going from turf to dirt. Give a handicapping tip for our viewers. At this time of year, if a trainer is making a decision to switch a horse from turf to dirt, especially if the horse is coming off a good race, this horse raced fabulously in his 2 starts on the turf, it means they think the horse has talent, and they got to find out if he can do it on the dirt, because they want to pursue the Kentucky Derby trail. And if you remember last week, I think Sig could confirm it. I think it was the Tarantino horse was doing the same move last week and finished a big second in that race. So another little handicapping factor early in a 3-year-old's career, if they switch from turf to dirt, don't be scared to use a horse like that, because especially off a good race, because the trainer thinks the horse can do more. Now, for Last Investment, I can say this in one sentence. That's why I wasted some time on before we got to this horse. If you put all of your money and make an investment on number 12, Last Investment, it will be your last investment. Okay? No shot. Pitch. Toss them out. Move on.
Next. All right, I love it. Well said. All right, guys. It is pick time here. It's time to put your feet to the fire here. It's going to be a great race. It's going to be a great day of racing. Reminder, guys, $9 will get you Sig's racing form each and every racing day at WagerTalk.com. Make sure you head over to Sig's page as soon as we're done here. And you can do that every racing day by 9 a.m. Eastern time. Just head over to Sig's page at WagerTalk.com. And Sig, I'm going to start with you, my friend. Let's go to these horses. Let's go to this Sam F. Davis. Tell us who you like in this race.
I gave it away a little earlier. I did land on the 9 here, Candyman Rocket. Bill Mott, jockey, Alvarado, one price. I'm a little concerned he might not be able to get the distance, but I'm going to try to beat the Pletcher, who I think will be your post-time favorite. I did use that Pletcher I just mentioned, Known Agenda, 6-1 on your morning line. John Velasquez is aboard, and I think he's got a big shot. Love that race he had at Aqueduct against Greatest Honor back in November. Using that 5 Romans horse, Smiley Sobotka, at 3-1. He is your morning line favorite. Daniel Zentano aboard. And I did toss in the 8 here, Nova Rags. He's 4-1 in the morning line. I think that morning line's a little low on him, but we do have Sammy Camacho, top jock at Tampa, for another Bill Mott trainee. So I'm going 9-3-5-8 here on Saturday.
9-3-5-8. All right, I love it. Marco, let's throw the card up, my friend. Where you going here in this race?
Well, we kind of got a lot of the same numbers, just a little bit of a different order, and I'm going with number 3, Known Agenda. And Sig talked about this horse and said, go back and look at the race 2 races back against Greatest Honor. Guys, what I want you to see in that race and why I'm so high on this horse, if you watched the Holy Bull last week, Greatest Honor was fantastic and is going to be one of the main contenders for the Kentucky Derby. If you go back and watch 2 races back, Known Agenda, that big stretch drive, but what Sig didn't point out to you is in that race, Known Agenda was down at the rail and Greatest Honor was on the outside. Young horses don't like being pinned against the rail or going up in a tight quarters. That horse showed me a ton of heart fighting off Greatest Honor, who was on his outside and had the advantage. That tells me a lot. 6-1 morning line, that's a pipe dream. I don't know who was setting the morning line or what they were smoking or drinking when they did it. This horse will be nowhere near 6-1. I'll be happy if we get 2-1 on this horse. I think you're going to get a big effort. He is my top choice in the Sam F. Davis. I agree with Sig. Candyman Rocket is a horse you've got to use. Got the speed. Broke his maiden last time out by 9 1/4 lengths. I'll look for him to improve off of that. Horse going for some price here. Going to go to the rail and Hidden Stash. And 10-1, I like the way this horse has performed. 4 career starts. Every race, Joe, he's improved his speed figures. This is the kind of horse you want to get your money on. He hasn't peaked yet. We don't know where the ceiling is. I've got him on the ticket at 10-1. And then the other horse in here, number 5, Smiley Sobotka, however you say this one. I'll be smiling if he hits the ticket anyways. This is the one, Del Romans. A little of a disappointment with the Del Romans horse in the Holy Bull last week. I think he gets redemption here, and this horse runs big. I have him in my top 4, and I will tell you, I took that time to talk about the 11. If I had 5 horses up on the screen, the 11 would have been the 5th horse. That's why I mentioned it. But those are my top 4, 3, 9, 1, 5.
And here I am with a number 12 last investment ticket. So I'm throwing that, Mark. I appreciate it right there. You just ruined me on that. Me looking for bombs. I love it. Guys, don't forget, though, head over to WagerTalk.com. Couple of things happening. Number 1, Sig's Racing Forms each and every day. You guys can head over there. Make sure that you're getting it at WagerTalk.com. And, of course, Marco's very special offer for you guys here watching the Pony Pundits. You'll be 28-8, guys, over the last 16 days. It's crazy. 30 days all access. $349 will give you a bonus 30 days for free. Just head over to WT.buzz/MD for Marco D'Angelo. So on behalf of Sig, and we appreciate Sig, it was good to finally get Marco back away from vacation. I hope you're not planning on going anywhere anytime soon because I don't know how that's going to work out. But Sig, Marco, always a pleasure, guys. Best of luck to you. Tomorrow, big race card, obviously, Tampa Bay Downs. Make it a profitable one. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Make sure you invest in these guys, and let's make it a profitable weekend. So, guys, appreciate the time. Best of luck. We'll talk to you again next time here on the Pony Pundits.
2021 has been nothing short of spectacular for WagerTalk co-founder Marco D'Angelo. Marco is the #1 handicapper at WagerTalk in both money won at a 59% bankroll increase and winning percentage of 62.5%. Marco is on an insane run of 25-5 with his plays over the past weeks for 83% winners. Right now, Marco has a sweetheart of a deal for you. By